I'm Mark Braddock, entrepreneur, veteran with a love for the outdoors. Join me as I travel the country looking for that next great adventure. This is Maleyvan Adventures.
Alright, morning. It is day 2 out here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. We are at Crazy Horse. Entrance was around $12 and the bus ride to the front of the mountain will be roughly $4 a person. The next bus ride is at 11:30. Go up to the mountain, $4. So we're gonna head over that way. It should take off here in about 20 minutes. First on the bus.
Push right in the center. Yeah,
Oh, just right there. It's been a while. Cool guys sitting in the back of the bus. That's where all the cool kids sit.
Yeah, exactly.
All we're doing is just sticking to the base of the mountain, and we're gonna stick to this right-hand side of the mountain. We'll go around to the back and make a U-turn. On the way back, we're gonna park, so we're looking directly up at his face. So currently working on this mountain is a 10-man crew, and it's got a lot to do with the equipment and technology that we have nowadays. It just doesn't require hundreds of people to carve this mountain out anymore. But the guys working on the mountain work Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 through the summers, as long as there's no lightning within a 15-mile radius of the mountain, and then through the winters, as long as it doesn't get below 0 degrees. The only thing 100% finished right now is his face, and that was finished in 1998 on the 50th year anniversary of them starting the project. Currently what they're working on right now is Crazy Horse's left hand that's pointing out, got his wrist and forearm area rounded off. The pointer finger's done, the knuckles on the back side are done, they just got that little bit of thumb left, and they plan on having his hand 100% finished and ready to unveil on June 3rd of this year. It'll be the 75th year anniversary of them starting the project. Now, the most commonly asked question that I get is, when is the whole thing going to be done? And unfortunately, there is no timeline for total completion. There's just too many variables between the weather, the funding. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so we run off of the ticket sales you pay for coming through the front gate, and then private donations from you guys that visit us, and that is it. You know, there's no federal or state funding that comes into this place. Korchak Shulkovsky, the sculptor that started this entire project, made 3 promises to Chief Henry Standing Bear, who was the Lakota chief at the time that this project was started. He promised he would, for 1, complete the mountain, for 2, build a museum that honors the traditions and heritage of the North American Indian, and then for 3, build a university dedicated to the North American Indian. One of the unfortunate side effects of this being private is that it's going to take longer, because we just can't afford a 400-man crew to work on this like Mount Rushmore had. It's for the people, funded by the people, and ran by the people. All right. So the way they're carving this mountain out now is not by blasting. They actually have not even done a blast since Veterans Day of 2015. And it's because they just have much better equipment to remove all this rock now that they are much closer to finished grade. So mainly what they're using to remove rock now is this. A section of a cable saw. These silver pieces are diamond bit, so it's like diamond bit rope. Alright, and what they do is run this stuff through this massive pulley system setup. And they'll turn it into essentially like an oversized bandsaw. And they'll use that to just shave and shape the rock out. But they can't do rounded cuts with this thing. It's just these long, straight cuts. So they're really just getting things rough cut out using the cable saw. And then they'll come back over it. They just started using these finishing saws about a year ago, which are these rectangular rail systems they'll set up on the side of the rock, and it has a saw in the center that makes all these horizontal cuts, and they'll set the depth of the blade to pretty close to finished grade, and then separate the cuts about 1 inch apart from each other and make all these lines in the rock, and then they come back with the bucket on a dozer and scrape and break all that off, and then chip it away with jackhammers, and it's a torch that gets up to 3,800 degrees. It'll melt that rock on contact. and they just sweep the flame over the rock fairly quickly to get that smooth finish that's on his face and sculpt out all the detail in his eyes, nose, and mouth. And that thing literally melts the rock and helps seal smaller cracks and fractures all at the same time. It just helps to preserve what we've got. No melting into water, seeping into fractures, and then refreezing and expanding is the biggest destroyer of this mountain. So we just try to seal things off to help slow that down and prevent it.
Well guys, that about wraps it up. We had an awesome time over here at Crazy Horse. We learned a lot. And this place, it's like never ending. You walk through one door only to enter about 5 other doors and hallways along the way. So it's pretty epic. Highly recommend it. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. From here, we're headed down to Colorado, back up through Wyoming and Montana. It's gonna be an awesome time. I'm Braddock from Maleyvan Adventures. We'll see you down the road.